Hey. So, how was everybody's day? Hope it was good. I got a quick second here. My trainee went over to Walmart, so we're gonna do our lesson or our bedtime story. I listened to one. I hope I'm not boring you guys. When Grandma was in town, made me want to go to sleep. So I don't know. I guess it's a bedtime story, so I guess that's good. That makes you sleepy. I sounded pretty boring. That's good though. I'm doing my job. I'm putting you to sleep. Alrighty. Today we're going to talk about a census. What a census is when the city counts everybody that lives there and they put it on the population sign. When you drive into town, it tells you Wichita Falls, 100,000 people. Athens, 12,000 people. How many people live there? Little tiny towns, I've seen them as little as like 400 people live in the whole town. So David, I'm talking about David, and another one of those stories I don't understand. I'm sure there's some really good reason to it, but basically God incites, which means kind of made David have this feeling that he needed to count all the people. So God did it, and then a little bit later we're going to see that David totally gets punished for it. So I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's like God told me to do something and I did it, and then I got in trouble. But I know that God's not like that. So I'm sure there was something inside David's heart, maybe pride, or like he was wanting to compare himself with others, or try to see how awesome he was and prove to everybody how cool he was, because he had so many men that would follow him. Don't know, but that looked kind of like Daniel. Don't know why God got mad about it, but this is what happened. David, the Lord incited David, saying, "Go and take a census of all of Israel." So David went to Joab, said, "Joab, I want you to go take a census of all the fighting men of all of Israel. I want you to find out how many guys, like if we were to have a battle, and I said, everybody come help, how many guys would show up?" So Joab said, "No, bad idea. No, let's not do that. That's a bad idea." They've had bad experiences in the past, I guess. He says, "No, we don't need to do that. God will take care of us. We don't need to worry about how many guys we've got. God's always taking care of us. Let's not count the guys. That's a bad idea." But the king prevailed. He's the king. He's the boss. He said, "Nope, I'm the boss. Go do it." Right? So Joab went and did it. It took him 9 months and 20 days. 9 months and some of the days. Anyways, it took him over 9 months. And he went and counted all the guys, and he found out that they had 1.3 million total guys that were trained for war and could come and fight a battle. Okay? So as soon as they got through, Joab totally killing himself for almost a year trying to count everybody. He went all over all these different cities. As soon as that happened, David, I probably shouldn't have done it. I probably shouldn't have done that. He was convicted of the Lord. He was conscience stricken. And he says, David was conscience stricken. Conscience, your thing inside you that makes you feel bad, the Holy Spirit. Conscience stricken after he had counted the fighting men. And he said to the Lord, "I have sinned greatly in what I have done." Now, there was a man named Gad. He was like the voice, kind of like Samuel the prophet. He was the voice for the Lord. And he came to King David and he says, "Okay, you messed up. God has given you three choices. Here's your 3 choices. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get punished. Here's your 3 options." Okay, said, "Will I send 3 years of famine? So no food, no rain for 3 years, or option number 2, 3 months of fleeing from your enemies. So there'd be a super horrible war where the other side was totally winning and kicking their butts, and they had to run for 3 months, or 3 days of a plague." A plague is everybody gets so sick they die. Okay, so option 1, 2, 3. 3 years of famine, 3 months of running away from your enemies, or 3 days of a plague. I know which one I would choose. Which one would you choose? Okay. The one David chose is the one I would have chose. He said, okay, 3 months of plague. And let's just hope God will be gracious. So, 3 months of plague came, and like almost 1 million people died. Let's see. The Lord was, let's see, 70. Oh, I was way off. Not 1 million. 70,000 of the people from Dan died. So almost 100,000 people died. And then, interesting, David got to see something. It says, when the angel was stretching out his hand to destroy him, Jerusalem. I'm going to start over. It says, so the Lord sent a plague to Israel from that morning until the end of the time designated. 70,000 of the people of Dan died. When the angel stretched out its hand to destroy Jerusalem. Okay, so he totally killed a bunch of people from this one town. Now he's going to stretch his hand out towards Jerusalem to start killing them. All right. The Lord was grieved because of the calamity and said to the angel who is afflicting the people, he said, enough! Withdraw your hand. Now the angel of the Lord was then on the threshing floor. He was on the threshing floor of this guy. I can't say his name. It was like some hard name. Arunana. When David saw the angel who was striking down the people, he said to the Lord, I am the one who has sinned and done wrong. These are my people, my sheep. Let your hand fall on me. And the Lord repented, or he changed his mind. He stopped doing it. And then Gad went to David and he said, okay, you see where that angel was on that threshing floor? We need to do something really good because God quit. He quit the plague, so we need to do something. So they went to the man that on the threshing floor, that guy's name, again, Arun your town with the plague. Aruna. They went to Aruna's house, and he saw the king coming. He's like, oh my gosh, it's King David. He's coming to my house. Clean the house, everybody. He didn't say that. Anyways, he was pretty freaked out, and he did go down, and he bowed before the king, and he said, oh my gosh, why are you here? He says, oh, king, hello, whatever you want, you got it, I'll give it to you. And the king's like, well, I want to do a sacrifice where all the killing was happening. Hey, can you give me like 1 second?
Yeah.
Give me 1 minute.
Okay. John, I just noted that we need to
Strap.
tie that.
Okay, do that. That'd be great.
That.
All right. So he said, he went to the king. He went in front of the king. He's like, whatever you want. And King David said, well, I want to do a sacrifice on your threshing floor because that's where the angel was. And he said, okay, you got it, man. You own the threshing floor. It now belongs to you. And you have all my oxen. Kill them. That's what I want you to use. And he said, okay, and there's wood in there, the things that you stick around the oxen's necks. You know, it took me about a year to make those and get them all right, but just burn them and use those. That's great. Anything you want, it's all yours, king. And then king said, no, I will pay you for everything. And they did this little weird bicker back. No, it's all yours. No, I'll pay you. No, it's all yours. No, I'll pay you. And then basically the king won, and he gave him the money. He says, and I like what he said. He said, replied, no, I insist on paying you for it. I will not sacrifice to the Lord my God burnt offerings that cost me nothing. That's pretty important. We need to spend money on things that are important to the Lord, like buying books and paying our tithe and paying for something we go to at the church that's going to be fun. You know, we don't need to just get everything for free. We need to pay for it. So then David offered a burnt offering, and the plague went away. The end. Interesting story. So, if you know what it means, let me know. Okay. Love you guys. Have a good night.